Here are some of the strange things that I've learned about people in my years of being in business and being a barrister. So let me know in the comments as you watch this whether you relate to any of these points, whether you've had experience of any of these points, and whether you've got any experiences of your own that you would like to share. Number one is that people can think that they can trust somebody. In fact, people do trust somebody, and they might trust these people for many years. They might feel that they can trust them implicitly for many years. But when it comes to a dispute over money, all of that trust can seem to fall away, and arguments can ensue, and quite vicious arguments between someone that you thought you could trust and someone that you thought you might be able to trust to have your best interests at heart and to discuss things reasonably with you, openly with you, and without being deceitful, without being dishonest, and without trying to get the better of you. But as I said, when a dispute over money comes up, I've seen it break up long-standing friendships, relationships, even the camaraderie among military veterans who have literally depended on each other for their lives for many years, fighting alongside one another. These arguments over money have still brought down this foundation of trust between them. So this is the first thing that I've learned about people over many years, sadly, is that despite years of trust and close-knit relationships, if there is a dispute over money, people very often will choose money. The second, and this comes with a slight trigger warning, is that seemingly ordinary people, including parents, can, when you least expect it, be capable of unimaginable horrors against each other and against other people. And I'm not simply talking about those stories that make it to the news, because yes, some stories make it to the news, but the sad fact is, as I often say to people, is that these stories are much more widely spread than you might think from the news. In fact, some of the stories that you hear in the news happen every single day, and they might happen with people you know or once knew. I've been involved in family cases where on one occasion a video was shown to the court where each parent had a hold of one arm of the child in the middle of the road, each pulling the child to the opposite side of the road, refusing handover of the child when it was their day for contact. Another case where the court had the task of finding the truth of which parent it was that caused the injuries, each parent blaming the other. Another case where a family had to report a long-standing family friend to the police because they discovered he was trying to contact their young daughter on Facebook to meet with him privately. So all in all, as I said, sometimes seemingly ordinary people can be capable of unimaginable horrors. Number three, still with seemingly ordinary people, is that some people are capable of forging documents. Quite literally, blatantly forging a document to try to win a case or to get their insurance renewed. In one such case, a business took a public liability insurance certificate, deleted the expiry date, inserted a new one because it had obviously expired, photocopied it, scanned it, and sent it to the council to prove to them that they had public liability insurance. Of course they didn't, because they hadn't renewed the liability insurance. This was a forged document. And of course this only came to light much later. But again, this was a seemingly ordinary business. I've seen situations where emails have been downloaded and the dates changed to make it seem more favourable to their case, and these have then been submitted to court as evidence of their case. I've also seen a case where a nationally branded company took a signature that they found online somewhere and appended it to a loan agreement because they'd forgotten to get this individual to sign it. And then they submitted that to the court as proof that this loan was signed and agreed in the first place and all of the terms behind it. But the court didn't accept that. The court wanted to see the original document. So all of these things will eventually come out, they will eventually be revealed, but it still amazes me how many people will actually do these things in order to win a case. The fourth thing is about divorcing couples who might be arguing over a small amount of money, £4,000, £5,000, £6,000, and yet they are so bitter about the split and the divorce that they can't agree who is to get this small amount of money. And instead of split the money and just agree that each of them has half of it, they are prepared sometimes to spend £10,000, £15,000 or even £20,000 with lawyers arguing over who gets this small amount of money or small amount of equity in the property. And finally, and this has to be one of the strangest things that I've come across so far, is where someone is prepared to totally abandon their life, including children, when they suddenly come into money, and they sometimes move far away, sometimes even overseas in one such case, and totally and completely leave behind their wife, their children, their house, their family, and their life in its entirety as they once knew it in this country. In one such case, someone made, in a very short space of time, almost £1 million and spent most of it, although there was a significant portion left, which I'm pleased to say that at court I achieved an order for a significant sum of money in my client's favour, after this person abandoned them and their entire life in this country to move abroad. But as I say, that has to be one of the strangest things I've come across so far, that someone is willing to abandon their partner, their children, and their entire life to move abroad because they've made some money. So let me know in the comments what experiences you have had that surprised you about people and made you take a second look at people. So I hope you found these stories enlightening. If you do, I will do some more. And in the meantime, thank you for watching.